Hello guys, and today I'm gonna do another classic game review. Now I just wanted to say a few words since I don't have any formal introduction to myself, etc. on this channel. Well, that's not really what it's about. A lot of these YouTube people, or the YouTube kids or whatever, uh, I think they love the sound of their own voice and the sight of their own face, whereas this channel is as much for my own amusement as it is yours. But I try to be honest and show my passion for gaming because I love gaming. It's one of my favourite hobbies. So, anyway, today I'm doing a review of WRC 4 for PC. Yeah, I got this off Steam. Let's read what it says on Steam about the game. Show off your style and win the FIA World Rally Championship 2013. Experience the 2013 season with the drivers, cars and courses of the WRC, the WRC2, the WRC3 and, for the first time, Junior WRC Championships. So let's carry on. Take advantage of an improved graphics engine and unprecedented realism that lets you develop new driving styles on surfaces that are more lifelike than ever. Play online against your friends, morning, noon and night on one of the 78 available courses, each tougher than the last. And it's got some bullet points here. The official Yep, it's got the official cars, 65 official cars and colours, 78 courses in 13 different countries, career mode, weather, and online multiplayer.
Driving in Junior WRC, WRC3 and WRC2 can be great training to prepare yourself for taking control of the powerful cars in the top category.
You might be like me, have purchased this game for a authentic rallying experience without the price. There are a WRC 5 and 6, although this is probably the cheapest one. Of course there is WRC 3 as well, but I would say this one you'd want to get because it's quite a big improvement over WRC 3, and yet the price is not quite so high. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately the multiplayer doesn't really work. I don't know if it ever did, but the lobbies are dead for multiplayer. But that's likely not what you bought the game for. So essentially, yes, it is a good rallying game. Now, one of the advantages I would say this has over, for instance, the Dirt series, the Codemasters series, the courses, all the rally names, every sort of little decal on the car or elsewhere is 100% official. As it says in the bullet points, there's 78 official courses in all the countries, 65 official cars and colours. So although they don't have any special cars like such as Group B, classic models that Dirt does have, it does have all 65 official sort of entries from that year, being 2013. They also seem to have borrowed the flashback option from Codemasters there, so you get 5 flashbacks each stage. I actually find this game fairly easy to play, so I don't need to use the flashbacks too often. I probably use a maximum of 2 myself. Okay, so the good thing that this game has over Codemasters, Dirt games, is there's none of the poncing about with the Gymkhana type stuff, Ken fucking Blockhead. No offense, but I'm not really that interested in all that stuff. I do, You know, that's one of the things with dirt, is that the rallying experience is somewhat limited. Of course, this is like a treasure trove for rallies. You get good proper length rallies, proper length courses. The style, the scenery is more or less there. And again, just with rally games in general, one of the most sort of cool features is watching back you driving the stage, where you can see the cars flying off hills and spinning into corners, and hitting the odd tree or whatever. It's with a very spectacular backdrop. Now, I wouldn't say it's quite as good as some of the old Colin McRae games in terms of scenery, but they do keep it fairly varied, and it's fairly spectacular at times as well.
Typical of the gravel surface in the Algarve, and covers a perilous and challenging track. The blind corners and narrow passages that characterize this area conceal hidden dangers that drivers know shouldn't be taken for granted.
One of the things that winds me up a little is that if you crash, some people might want to see the full extent of the crash. So if you go tumbling down a hill in Monte Carlo, you want to see your car explode at the bottom. It's quite a fair request, that, but unfortunately, because of the car reset sets in and just goes you back to where you were before. Now, although this is good, it would be kind of cool if they could just give you the option to watch the full extent of a crash, because rallying games, especially old Colin McRae games, one of the highlights is watching back some of the spills. Okay, so basically this is a much more in-depth experience than rallying experience as the dirt games. There was a recent release called Dirt Rally, and I've played that as well. But to be honest, although this one is WRC 4 is kind of arcadey, I just found Dirt Rally too difficult for my liking. The cars basically don't steer into corners. So in that respect, this game is very sort of arcadey. I wouldn't say it is. I'd say it's somewhere in between arcade and sim. It's not like Outrun, old school arcade style, where you don't have to brake for corners and things. You do have to judge certain corners a certain way, and the flashbacks can come in useful every now and then, but on the whole the driving is pretty easy on this game. The AI are pretty pathetic on career mode. I mean, all you have to do is string together a few good corners and you'll be 10 seconds ahead of them by the end of the stage. Although that could be seen as bad in some ways, as you move up through to the top class, where the cars are faster, it does get a little bit more of a challenge there. You will have to focus to win in the top category. So also, I guess you could say, because I've tried this game with my racing wheel, it's pretty fun with the wheel. In fact, as I said, it's quite the easiness of beating the AI, not so much with the wheel, but you can compete. So for steering wheel users, this is a really good game. Okay, so this game is very similar in style to the MotoGP series, also by the same developer, which are called Milestone. The only good thing with this one is you don't have to buy DLC for the complete field of cars. So no expensive DLC, that's a good point. Yeah, the handling and the crash engine. I have already mentioned it's a fairly easy game. I would say the handling's probably 3/4 of the way there to being as good as the Dirt Rally series. Now, Codemasters, even since the first Colin McRae game, I've always found that kind of very loose and smooth handling of the rally cars. That was always what got me into it, playing Colin McRae on the original PlayStation. The handling's just so silky and smooth, and it's like totally different to circuit racing. You're drifting all the time. Well, this game, it doesn't quite nail it. It's a little bit wooden, but it's not so awful that it spoils it. You can still enjoy yourself. Pull a big donut round a hairpin. Yeah, so the graphics get criticised a lot in reviews on Steam. Yeah, I mean, it says obviously it's a console port from the last gen console, so there is sort of limitations to the graphics. I wouldn't say they're that bad though. Backgrounds are fairly detailed, which is probably one of the most important things with a rallying game. You want to see some sort of cool scenery as you drive through. Yeah, and the damage model, not bad at all actually. I think Codemasters have pretty much cornered the market on damage models for many years. They have very good ones. I mean, you can completely total your car using the Codemasters damage models. Pretty spectacular. Now these guys, they've put in a pretty good effort, and I'd say they're not too far off. It's quite a detailed and complex damage model, so you know, kudos for that. So anyway, if you want to play a rallying game and you know you don't want all this sort of whatever drifting or Mickey Mouse events in between, you just want to play rallying, I would get this. If you've got the money, I would get the most recent WRC because it's better than this, I imagine. It's certainly got higher reviews. So, or rather, Dirt Force, if you don't mind the other events. So overall, I would give this a 7 out of 10. Perhaps might be an 8 for those who rally buffs, but 7 for a sort of more general audience. It's not awful, but it's neither is it amazing.
Go, right 3, into left 4.